hopefully, by pressing that button, it should mean that we have once again adhered to our strict code of never being late. We'll just check it out. I might be talking rubbish. Can anybody see us? Can you see us? Are we live?
I reckon the moment you press that live, it really is.
We are live.
For me.
Yeah, I don't know whether it really is though. Yeah.
There
you go.
There we go.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Fix. And as you come to us live and direct from all corners of the globe, you can see the mood of Rolly Royce is that he's been on the shrooms, mother flubbers. That's how we roll. It's that time of night where he is. It's that time of night. Devon's classy finger comes flying in, and I will toast you to that, son, with a super chat.
No, classy finger.
Let's go. So, Ryan,
yep.
3 o'clock over there, mate. What is it, like 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m.?
Yeah, 6:30 a.m. Sun is just poking up. Yeah, it's cold. It's good. Good start to the day. Got my pikelets going.
Yes, mate, there you go. And in Rolly Royce's world, the other side of the world, it's now about 11:30 p.m.
100% true.
Yeah, what the hell are you eating there, eh?
It's some Greek yogurt.
Greek yogurt.
I have more.
I like your work. We got Corey West in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. That's how well timed is that, Corey West. Thank you for your super chat, brother. You were on our radar tonight to discuss, mate. Various topics going to come up tonight, but where we're going to start, I would imagine.
Hey, let's start with who's getting to UK. Who can actually get in?
Dude. Oh my God. See, this is the funny thing right now, right? We have a new member of the government, and our new health minister comes on the other day and says, well, we're looking at the health passport, and we're looking at the way we get people into the country. One of the ways we might look at that is that if you want to come into the UK and you've had both your vaccinations, then you should be able to travel fine without having to quarantine. However, if you haven't had your vaccinations, we may not let you into the country. Oh dear. What an absolute dick punch that one is. So, I mean,
It certainly left me in a hard spot. I know I was already looking at, no matter what, I was prepared to do the 2-week quarantine on return to Australia, because at the moment, Australia is anyone coming back, whether you've had the vaccinations or not, whether you're an Australian citizen or not, you're doing 2 weeks in a hotel quarantine. So I was like, yeah, I'll do that.
Even with the vaccination?
Even with vaccination, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You could be double vaxxed.
Yeah.
You still got to do
to your country, you still have to quarantine.
I'm not coming for Christmas. I'm sorry, Ryan. I'm sorry.
I'm hoping it's going to change sometime soon. Surely it does. I don't know, but Australia has just literally in the last 2 weeks dropped by 80% our international arrivals intake. So you know when I talk about international flights being cancelled, literally 80% reduction from our international arrivals in the last 2 weeks with the new policy. And if you have a look at flights now, like a flight from New York to Sydney is costing like 20 grand if you want to get home now.
20 grand?
Yeah.
20 grand.
Because there's only, like I said, there's only so many permitted into Australia right now, and there's expats overseas saying, yeah, I need to get home. I've been overseas, I need to get home, and all their flights have just been cancelled, and subsequently the only ones left are 20 grand tickets.
Jesus.
So
ridiculous, mate. 20,000 quid. But I mean, set of challenges. I can't even tell you. So in the evenings, as you know, I've been rattling out notes to people saying, just out of interest, have you been vaccinated? Because it's like it's just another hurdle, isn't it? To, you know.
And I haven't been vaccinated. And to get a vaccine, they're only giving them out to people over the age of 40 in Australia at the moment as well. So
I can't get one. Everywhere, Ryan. One of the issues is for people. I spoke to speaking of Bodjira, I was speaking to Mindaugas Terasaitis, and he was saying the same thing. He said, look, obviously in our country at the moment, we're in a situation where it's being given out in age order. Therefore, for the younger people, they haven't got access to a vaccine at the moment. So it's just, I'm not going to say insurmountable hurdle, because as I said to people that I've been messaging, let's just, famous quote from Rob Vigent Jr. the other day when I was messaging him about it. He said, if this last couple of years has taught me anything, it's that a hell of a lot can change in a few days. So, yeah, hold. Let's see what happens. We've got an announcement coming from the UK government on the 19th of July, at which point we're going to get greater clarity. But yeah, just soul-destroying set of circumstances, let me tell you. Anyway, we're not going to get bedded down into that too much just at this point in time. As I say, I don't want to be the sort of the bringer of doom and gloom and bad tidings. Let's see what the situation is. It might recover from that. Great little super chat just come flying in all the way from Canada, from the mighty Sean Russell. And Sean has put, and I love this, does Raymond own anything other than tank tops? And I believe the answer to that question is he does own a couple of shirts, but why would you ever wear them when you look that good?
Not in the summer. Why would I do it in the summer? My shoulders get too hot, so I don't want any.
Well, you set ready for the forest, aren't you, there a bit? It just happens to be a mushroom forest tonight. Hey? So Sean of Ready Go Garb, thank you very much for your super chat, mate. Remember, all you Canadian guys, get yourself over there to Ready Go Garb and get your one-of-a-kind merch. While we're on the subject of merchandise, Ryan Blue Bowen just got a new set of merch come in, didn't you, dude? Saw you modeling it, eh?
Well, that was actually the old stuff. That's all the discontinued stuff that's going for $10. There's new stuff coming, but I got to get rid of the old stuff kind of first. Sorry.
You're shelling off the Toddzilla and 44% shirts at a tenner a pop. And that's...
Yeah, it's time to go to 88% or something. I don't know.
Just for clarity, mate, that's $10 Australian, yeah?
No, US.
US, okay, I was going to say, because...
Would have been a hell of a deal.
$10 Australian's like...
$1.50 US.
What is that? It's super cheap, isn't it? Well, I don't know what the rate is at the moment, but what's US versus Oz at the moment, dude?
Oh, it's about 72 cents, something like that. So
okay, it's better than it was. Quite impressed. Okay, so you can only buy a small house for a $5. Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Pena flying in. Steve, how you doing, brother? Come in with a super chat. Thanks very much, mate. The king is back. What's up? Yes, mates. Love you, Neil and Ray. Doesn't say he's put, sorry, Ryan, but your abusive level of back pressure has ended my life.
There's a follow-up super chat down.
He's put, Neil, how much is the ice hoodie? Mate, the ice hoodie, I think, is £29. So get on there and have a look at it.
That's heavy.
It's actually a zip jacket we've launched, and I'll send you a little link over, Ray, and you can have a look at that.
No, I was just thinking like 29 pounds, like 20 kilograms. Yeah,
it's 700 Oz dollars.
Oh, okay. you have to say like it's like 140 Fahrenheit.
Yeah. Good merch, mate. Quality merchandise. Zip as well. It's all zip. None of that straight over the top rubbish. Full zip. Stephen flying in with another one, mate. We can't keep him off. Let's have a look here. Hey, before we go on to any more super chats, let me just try and set the tone for tonight's show. Right, we got a lot of questions come in about greatest of all time and greatest of all time and greatest of all time. We're not gonna go back into that discussion, guys, because I think we've done it to death a little bit in terms of the overall greatest of all time. I don't know whether you guys agree, but I really didn't want to go down the route. So I do apologize to those of you who have written to the channel again, but I want to try and keep it a little bit more current and try to keep it a little bit more fresh. And I think that everybody's probably familiar with our sort of thoughts and feelings on that now. And I feel like in the last couple of weeks, it's been absolutely pasted from pillar to post. So I don't want to go there. But one of the things that we do want to do is focus on what's coming up now in the world of arm wrestling and try and give people a bit of insight on what's just around the corner. And Fatal 4-Way in the United States of America, pretty tasty. This thing's been put on by Paul Italia. It's going to knock over Stephen's super chat just before I lose it or forget. Stephen, I'm going to knock this over, mate. Thank you very much for that second super chat. He's put, I'm sorry, Ryan, but your level of side pressure talk has given me more headaches than my 21st birthday drinks. Happy 21st, mate. Your little girl's birthday today, Ryan? The same, yeah?
It is.
Share a birthday.
Eliza's 11 today. So don't tell me Stephen Pena and Eliza share a birthday. That's
I
amazing.
do believe that they share a birthday, mate. And he's put, what's the topic today? We're just coming on to it, brother. And he got vaccinated. So he might even be able to come over and pull in Arm Wars because nobody else will. Bastards. Unbelievable. Tell you what. Sick. Don't get me going on that one. No, today's topic to start with, we're going to go on to the Fatal 4-Way, which I think has been put together by Paul Italia over in the States. A guy who's been really, really active, involved with a lot of the promotions that were done by T. Bagent over there and Gary Roberts, I believe. Good dude, very, very active in the community. And this thing's been pulled together. I know we'll get more from it from when Paul Linn comes on. So for the fans of the White Oak, he will be on here shortly. In fact, he just popped up with a... What are you doing, super chatting, Linn? What are you doing, son? He's put, sorry all, I'll join shortly. Don't worry. We're keeping your big reveal for later on, mate. Just make sure you come on oiled up and topless and the ladies will let you off. Don't know about the dude. You might get stoned to death. We can handle that. Now then, Fatal 4-Way. 4 very, very powerful arm wrestlers in here. Only one of them matters to me, though, because he's the only one I can really get into Ryan's ribs about. But let's go through these arm wrestlers in a little bit more detail. Firstly, we got Chance Shaw, who we're going to get into a little bit in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
We got the very impressive and very recently impressive Jordan Sill. We've got Mike Aiello, who always is one of those guys that I think is seen as flying just underneath the radar of the elite elites, and also likes a tank top, or no top, or a very small top, whatever your preference. Last but by no means least, the resurgent Hollywood Don Underwood, a former Arm Wars fame, and I think he's rediscovered himself a little bit. Don seems to be back from the dead. He had some bad times a while back and dropped out of the sport. We didn't see him for quite a while, but he's back. He's resurgent. He's got a venomous hit. Very, very serious top roller. And I wanted to get you your thoughts on that, guys, and just see what you thought about this. But the starting point is very interesting, is the size of Chance Shaw. Because I heard him the other day. He was on a call with Devon Larratt. Devon was building this thing up for Armbet. And he came on there and he said that he was around 300 pounds, like 295 pounds. Wow. What was
when I faced him in February, he was 250 pounds or 255 pounds or something like that. So he's put on 40 to 45 pounds in that year and a bit. So
That's something.
It's big chance. I mean, if you look at Chance's genetics, his dad's a very barrel-chested guy. He's very round, very thick, was an elite bench presser. And Chance has got that same shape. He is just thick from front to back. He looks like a boulder. So I think that he's genetically inclined to put on weight pretty easily. And if he's eating and embracing it, because I know when I faced him, he was trying to convince me that he was aiming for WAL middleweight, which I laughed at the time, said, dude, you're never going to get there. It's too much. And so obviously he's realized that too and has now gone the other way. So
yeah, I mean, he's got a reasonable frame, but I wouldn't say he's a natural giant. You know, he's not one of those guys that's a real monster. How tall is Chance?
How tall? I think Chance is slightly shorter than me. Just from memory, again, I'm not.
So he's 6'1", not 6'1.5". Hey?
Yeah, mate, those half inches matter. You know it, Neil.
They 100% matter. Seriously, all 3.5 of them matter a lot. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you too are working with that kind of measurement, There is something you can do about it. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Western Survivor beef jerky. If Ryan ever wants to get to that magical 6'2" number, gain that ½ inch, this is the kiddie right here. Western Survivor, the greatest beef jerky of all time.
Very nice. Where is it? My camera is reversed.
There it is, right there.
Like, tricky.
Now, Chris Gamo just rocketed in with a super chat there. He says, I want to buy a table. Do you guys think that the Mazarenko table is worth the price, or is it marked up just for the name? I'm going to say it's a great table. I think the Mazarenko tables are fantastic. What do you think, Ray? I mean, you've been around them a lot.
I'm going to say, to my experience, best tables.
Very, very solid table. Put it this way.
Some over 15 years old.
At the Latvian clubs.
Yeah, and still like nothing.
Yeah, brand new.
Yeah.
No problems. I will be using Mazarenko tables, I believe, for Arm Wars, unless some other table manufacturer convinces me that they have got a better table. I'll continue to use Mazarenko for the Arm Wars Super Series. And on that note, with Western Survivor beef jerky. Oh, Adam Vandal's in the chat, Mother Fluffers. Mr. Beef Jerky's right there. Now then, one of the things we're going to be doing, and we'll be putting information out about this, for the Arm Wars reality check, we're going to get a table specifically made for the show. So we an Arm Wars reality check table, and we are going to auction that table off after the show. So you will be able to own the Arm Wars reality check table, and we're probably going to try and get it signed by as many peeps as we can. Usain Bolt, Nurmagomedov, Sly Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Eddie Hall, Ryan Mother Fluffing Bowen. We are going to get that thing. He doesn't even know whether he's coming yet, but he will be there and we will get it signed. Somehow, we must get the Ninja to the UK. It must happen. Oh, yes. So remember that, guys. We're going to be auctioning off that table. Check it out, and we'll give you more information about that as we go forward. But back to the topic of the night, guys. So, Chance Shaw, powerful lad, very, very good arm wrestler. Big increase in size and weight. Ryan Bowen, could he still beat him?
Well, when Devon interviewed Chance, he very conveniently didn't ask him about. He skipped over the match with me because he was trying to do the right thing by Chance and get people betting on him. So he didn't ask about the match with me. So of course I could still beat him. We've both progressed probably a lot since then. But the thing that I felt in the match that I think is going to be very relevant to this fatal four-way is what I deemed as his vulnerability, which was his wrist rise. I felt that what you don't want to do against Chance is try to cut him off. If you try to cut him off, his back pressure, pronation really was legitimately mega.
And by cut him off, you're talking about cupping hook.
Yeah,
so a cup-driven hooking. Yeah.
Yeah. That was the game plan I actually intended on cutting him off there. And the first round, I felt that and went, whoa, no, okay, I'm not going there again. And I immediately changed tactic to, all right, expose his wrist. And it was immediate reward in that. If you look at every round that we had, when we were outside of the strap, each slip became slightly more difficult for him. He was dumping under more and more. And then it got to the point where I was grabbing his fingers as he was dumping, and then he was having to really pull through out of my hand. And his wrist rise was his vulnerability. So I think that still, I'm going to guess, still is his vulnerability. I've heard that he has been working on it, but I think when he comes up against Mike Aiello in particular, should he face Mike Aiello at any point in time to draw, Mike's height, Mike's back pressure, which I think is one of his strengths, that rigidity that he can do with his knuckles up, I think the chance is going to be in trouble. I really do. I don't think he can win it.
You don't think he can win it? Ooh.
No, so much so I've actually bet on Devon's arm bet this time. I've gone and I've staked Mike Aiello to win.
Interesting. So you've gone with a yellow. And the matchups, unless I'm mistaken, guys, just for people in the chat that don't know, is that Chance will get Jordan Sill first round. Underwood and Aiello will go. And that's where I want to sort of go next, because Chance, I think, has made himself a little bit unpopular with Jordan, as I understand it. And and I know Jerry Caderet felt the same way a little bit, that Chance has talked a lot about wins where both those men felt like, in Jerry's case, it was in practice. And I think that might be a little bit of a raw topic. From Jordan's perspective, it was more because of the fact that he didn't feel like they pulled fresh. Now, there's an interesting pressure dial thing there, isn't there? Because sometimes, in my experience in arm wrestling, someone may just have, he might be your bogeyman. They might have something that they do that just creates major problems for you. And you do wonder, because of the number of times that Chance has had a result of sorts against Jordan, whether something he's doing creates problems for Jordan, or whether Jordan's right on the money. And it's just been that Jordan's been a little bit fatigued, a little bit damaged, not at his best, and he's been there for the taking, and Chance is a guy that you can't go into a match with weaknesses. Really interesting to see how that plays out and how the old mind games work for people, you know, as they go into that. I mean, I think it's a very, very underrated element now. You can be your own biggest enemy.
I think so much of it's going to come down to Jordan Sill's weight and the fact that he's committed to this and his preparation. I expect more resistance from him this time against Chance. And I agree with you, definitely, when Chance has pulled him recently, I think there has been a couple of bullets in Jordan already, or Jordan was cutting to 220 or something like that. This Jordan's not going to be cutting to 220. This Jordan's going to be, 245 or something like that.
Holy shit, really? That is big.
Well, I don't know, but I know that when he pulled Todd Hutchins, he was 240, for instance. So I can't imagine why he would be anything less than 240.
I didn't think he was that big, mate. I'm surprised. I thought he was smaller than that. I thought he was 225, 230 when he pulled Todd. I'm surprised. That's mega. If he was, I mean, he looked a menacing individual there, without a doubt.
Paul Linn is about to arrive and will verify all of this stuff for us. Chance's height, Jordan's height, everything. We're about to find out. But I think Jordan Sill takes the hardest possible route against Chance. I don't think Jordan looks to go around Chance's power. He says, "I'll fight you at your best spot," and it just comes down to who's got more horsepower. And so I think Chance feels comfortable in that, knowing that Jordan doesn't threaten his power. He gets to hit freely without threat to his hand and wrists somewhere else. So I don't know. It's a super matches or straight up one rounders. I don't know, but I feel like it'll be harder this time for Chance than it was last time. But I still think Chance is probably the favorite over Jordan.
Now, perfectly timed entrance. The Fix crew is complete, ladies and gentlemen, as the white oak Paul Linn is in the mother fluffing house. That's what he's working with. That's right, ladies. So we roll. We counter the fat with the muscle. Now, Paul, dude, we're talking about the United States of America's own Fatal 4-Way coming up soon. And Chance Shaw, we started with. We're on Chance and Jordan Sill. Now, just to catch you up a little bit, if you haven't heard, mate, we're talking about the fact that, have you been listening in?
I've been commenting and listening. I was driving back from the beach. Sorry.
Lovely darts. Right. Okay. So this whole scenario where the comment I made was that sometimes, for whatever reason, a guy may just have some kind of technical nuance on you, something that creates problems for you. And there may be something in that, because Chance had a couple of results against Jordan, which suggests that there might be something in that Jordan's struggling with that technique that Chance applies. How do you see that, mate? Do you agree that Chance may have something there, or do you think that Jordan has had a few bullets in him at the time that Chance has got into him?
So first and foremost, all these guys I consider to be like friends, and I talk to most of them on a semi-regular basis. And Chance I talk to probably the most. So he sent me the link to his State Kings thing, and I said, okay, so how much am I investing here? Where are you at? How much do you weigh? How do you feel? Are you injured? Everything else. So he is, in fact, close to 300 pounds. He has been training consistently, according to him, in the gym and on the table. Mm-hmm. He feels extremely comfortable with Jordan. So I know stylistically kind of how they both pull, and I know why he feels comfortable, because Jordan will take and rack the whole hand without a posted knuckle and not without a dump knuckle, somewhere in between, which allows Chance to use that low hand back pressure and side pressure cresting through the thumb pronation extraordinarily well. That being said, I was a little leery because I think there's kind of like some unfinished business with Chance and Jordan. And I think Jordan might not be real happy about how the last ones went over, which might bring out that killer version of him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I threw a couple bucks on Chance in this whole thing. I love Mike, and I think Mike could be the other guy to win it. But stylistically, I think Mike beats Don, and I think Chance beats Jordan. And then I think stylistically, Chance has a really, really good shot against Mike because of Mike throwing his shoulder forward and just committing to supination.
Okay.
I know Mike's last outing, I believe, was against Brandon Elsesser and Paul Passmore. Mm-hmm. And we watched Brandon Elsesser retreat into that top roll against him and fend him off. I don't know if that's the best version of Mike that we saw, but when I look at that style of pulling and how he was able to do it and knowing both of those two, I like Chance's odds.
So we got a bit of a opposite there. You've got Ryan thinking that he can't win it. You believe he can win it.
Yeah.
And both of you have put your money where your mouth is in that respect. Interesting. We're going to bring Ray in on that in a second, but just knock over a couple of super chats first. Daniel Urick. A lot of people echoing this sentiment in the chat, let me tell you right now. But can we get Drunk Ray again? I feel like a lot of love for Drunk Ray. You know, maybe there was a lot of love for Drunk Ray just after he hung up the mother fluffing phone. I really don't know. But all I will say is this. We love Drunk Ray. He was ace. He was absolute quality. And Daniel, I'm glad you've received your jersey, brother. Personalized jersey. So hopefully that thing fits good for you, mate. So do us a favor. Send us a picky over. Let us see what you're working with in that shirt. Daniel Urick, thank you for your super chat, mate. Let's have a look. Joe Mama, love this. Anybody that comes piling into Ryan, always a winner in our show. And Joe Mama flying in with a $5. Ryan, I give you a lot of stick for being super unnatural.
I get it. It's a good play on words.
I absolutely love it. I give you a lot of stick for being super unnatural, but admire the progress you've made over the years. Any WAF plans this year? With maybe the best comment, I don't know, maybe ever.
Definitely no WAF plans this year. I'm not going to pull in a tested event at the moment, no way. And I wouldn't ever. I plan on never doing it.
Dude, the cannonball shoulders are coming through. In a while, you keep this up, and you are going to be another of the specimens on this show. You know, we're going to have you three all coming on here looking mega. I mean, if you get a tan as well, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's a problem. I don't know if anything can fix that.
Unbelievable, mate. So Henry Bowersall's come in with a super chat as well. Biggest advice for Chance: don't scream. Dude, you're so incredibly weak after the first round. If he wins the 4-way, then let him face a fresh Jerry, not the gassed version, after showing up 45 minutes late to practice. So, yeah.
You know what?
You know how many rounds these are?
You know what? If Chance wins that, if Chance wins that 4-way, I know he wants to match with Jerry, and I heard people talking about it. So,
dude, Chance Shaw, you can listen. If you love or hate Chance Shaw, all right, you cannot knock Chance Shaw. Chance Shaw is a hungry young man. The dude is going out after it. He's looking for it. And I think he's a big believer in what I was talking about a moment ago, that some guys you just may have something for.
Yeah.
You may be able to, you might have their number. And I know that he's looking for a match with Jerry. I mean, I think Jerry will smack the piss out of him. But that's just my feelings, Chance Shaw, good on you, son.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I agree. I agree entirely. I love seeing that ambition. I do that stuff all the time, and he's getting the wins. He really is. There's always context, and people have rattled his cage for that context, saying, "Hey, it was training. Hey, it was this. Hey, it was that." But he's traveling, he's pulling, he's focused, and he's hungry, and he's getting the wins. And until otherwise, I think he's got every right to say, this is what my ambitions are, and to be publicly confident to say, no, look, I'm going to back myself. I think good on him in that. I don't think he's going to win this 4-way for the reasons I've said before, but I think that his momentum is trending upwards significantly, and whether he wins his 4-way or not, I think that I'd love to see him have a crack at Jerry, to be honest, but for all the stylistic reasons, I think that it'd be super interesting to see what he has felt against Jerry and see what he does against fresh Jerry. And I agree, Jerry would most likely just commit the shoulder and crush him, but I'd love to see it for sure. Bring it on. I love old guard against new guard. That's my favorite thing to see.
And here's the thing, right? We talk a lot about practice means nothing. And in actuality, it doesn't. It's practice. A lot can change. However, all right, if you do go to practice with someone of the level of Jerry, okay, and you feel like you've got something there, it takes a lot of balls for you to come out of there and go out and publicly say, you know what, I think I can do something with Jerry Caderet. And whether Chance believes that he can beat Jerry, I don't know. I'm not inside Chance Shaw's head, so I can't tell you whether in the quiet moments when he's at home, he thinks, you know what, I think I can crack Jerry Caderet. But if he did anything with Jerry Caderet, in my opinion, his stock rises significantly.
Yeah, of course.
Significantly. That is a hell of a result.
He can compete. Just if he can compete.
That's the thing. The thing about it is, I love and admire anyone who takes that approach, the fearless approach to deliberately throw yourself in the deep end against someone that is significantly more experienced, significantly higher caliber, and have a crack at it. Often brings out the best in you. And if you can see a style in someone, and what I think Chance sees against Jerry is a style from Jerry that won't disengage Chance from his power. I mean, he wouldn't be calling out a match if it was going to be a match against someone who's just going to simply disengage him from connection, because that's embarrassing. When you get totally disengaged from your own power, you feel like you're out of place and you shouldn't be on the stage. But against Jerry, he's like, no, I know that I'll get in my power, and I know that Jerry's going to have to pull straight through my best zone, and I want to feel that, and that's going to look good even if I lose. That's why he's picking that match. That's why he wants that, and it makes perfect sense to me. And I take my hat off to him for chasing it.
But my question to you, Ryan, is stylistically, do you really think that is the case? Because, like I said, I love Chance. Chance, but his style, I just don't see how that meshes well.
I'm making the assumption that Chance can force Jerry to flop press. If Jerry forces if Jerry takes control of the pronator, then Chance is screwed.
Right, but how many pure top rollers have we seen have success against Jerry?
Very few.
Like, that's what I mean. So Travis did, like, and that was a mega version of Travis who pulls differently than Chance. So like I'm always gonna speak positively of my buddy, but I told him, I said, I don't like your chances in that, and I won't be putting money on it. But if you can tie Jerry up, you can just make it a respectable match. I think that's a win.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go with Paul on that one. I don't think that Chance Shaw can win that match against Jerry Caderet right now if he shows up after having a 30-minute bath in the tears of the Virgin Mary.
Right.
I just do not see that happening. And what I want to do is just go back to a moment ago, though, Ryan, where you were talking about that naked ambition to go out and pursue the bigger man, pursue the bigger name. It's that very ambition that Rolly Ray, the sober, quiet, reserved, shroomed out of his frigging head, Rolly Ray, was showing to me the other week when he called me up and said, Neil, I will full on top roll Ryan Bowen. And I said, nah, dude.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. I can't help but laugh. I'm not going to get top roll, but
Did you? Hey, you laughed out loud, Ray. Get out.
That's interesting. We'll get the chance to find out. I'm sure.
What are we going to do, right? If Ray, in his tank top, goes over to Norway, to the Hardanger Open, smacks relentless Frodo Hoagland into a deep hook, smiles back at him, and puts a pressing on his ass. Will you be worried then?
That would indicate to me a level of inside savagery that I didn't think was there yet.
You didn't expect that in a boy that looks like he's come off his paper round.
I expect to stop, and I expect Ray to have shoulder position, but I expect Frodo to have a sufficient defense not to be able to get through, and then it will become the position versus endurance game, and that's where it's, for me, the match is going to be won. I think Ray's probably going to have superior position through a more aggressive start. Frodo's going to have his sticking point that just we all know Frodo has, and it's going to be that game. Which gasses first, Ray from superior position or Frodo's never say die side pressure? We'll see.
I'm going to knock over a couple of super chats, and then we're going to dig into that because the quiet ones that you've got to watch.
Oh, okay.
Ray Rowley Royce has said,
"Fuck all."
For 20 minutes now.
Is Ray here?
Coming back to that in a sec. First of all, Matt Tickle My Limits Larrett has come flying in with a couple of super chats. Dude, thank you so much for the support in the channel. Really appreciate it. But what's up, Neil, Ryan Ray, and the White Hawk? Love you guys, man. First tournament coming up soon for me on August 7th in Florida, which is incidentally the home of Chan Shaw, 300 pounds of his ass. Wish me luck. Dude, we do wish you luck. Hope you get over there and kick some ass. Very, very best of luck. Stay safe and do what you do. And he says, also, I got Mike winning, but I want Don to win. Interesting. Bit of support for Donnie Underwood. I don't know where Don's at right now. I really don't. And then he got bored after a couple of moments, did Matt? And he came flying in with another super chat. Thanks again, mate. And he's put also, Jerry's nothing to shake a stick at. You're not frigging kidding. He potentially can be number one in North America any given day. Chance better not sleep on that big ginger. What can I say? As I said earlier, Chance got some balls calling out Jerry Caderet, and good on him. I hope he gets the match. And if you can prove me wrong, I will eat my words. Good on you, Chance. Sure, you can't knock that. And if you do, your stock will go up enormously. That also will immediately set off a chain of events in Australia, where Ryan Bowen claims to be potentially the strongest ginger on earth because he smacked about Chance Shaw. And if Chance Shaw leathers Jerry for at least a fleeting moment until those two meet, you're the strongest ginger in the world, right? White Wolf, thanks for your super chat. I feel Don Underwood is coming back with a vengeance and really has something to prove and wants to put past demons in a pit and drown them in holy water. White Wolf, we hope he can do that, mate. We really do. It'd be great to see Don back to his best. Don Underwood's had some moments, so we'll touch on that in a second. Just one more to knock over, and then we're going to get back into the chat. Style Graffen, thank you very much, mate, for your super chat. Really appreciate it. And for everybody that's super chatting, thanks so much, guys. Really, really appreciate the support. Now then, let's talk about this on the other side. Okay? And then we want to come back to Jordan Sill. Donnie Underwood, who's seen anything of him? Paul, have you actually pulled with Don recently?
No, I mean, I talked to him. He was going to come to Keystones. He was wanting to match, and we were talking about like who to match up with. He was talking about Aiello. He was talking about Corey West. He was even talking about Dave Chapin. So I know last time he was pulling with Mike, he was still kind of on that recovery climb. But I know he's got his eyes set really high. So I can only imagine in the past, 5-7 weeks or whatever it's been, that he's got to have made some improvements just because of the way he's talking.
Mm-hmm.
But we won't know until the four-way.
The only thing that I've seen is a little bit of footage of him pulling. He was pulling with Corey.
Yeah.
With Mike. Were you there at that time as well, or was it Derek?
I think Derek. I came after that, and then Derek came after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I think that was Don just sort of getting back into it. Woody's been sort of on that upward trajectory, hasn't he?
That was when Todd Hutchings was down there. It was Jerry, or when it was Corey, Mike, Don, and Todd. So I came the week after that, and that was kind of where he was saying, "I'm coming back."
And he's got a venomous top roll, much like Ray. Known for that. It's like Ray smacked on Mazza here. Slow motion, baby. Right, Ray, we've gone long enough. Can you tell us who your arm wrestling in November? Can you break your silence? It's worrying me that you've been sat there that quiet all night, Ray. I'm not going to lie. We've gone like it's like feast and famine. And Ray actually confessed that he was tired earlier, so he's obviously.
I just got lost in the woods.
Now, yeah, I'm not surprised if you've had that many. But let me tell you now, there's a lot of chatter about November, about the second coming of King of the Table. You're going to be on it, Ray. We all know that. Can you give us any insight about any match?
No idea.
Oh, you mother fluffer.
Really, no information right now at this point.
I thought you might have broken your silence on here. So.
I know. I'm sorry.
Damn you, Ray. Damn.
That's in November?
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Been on a few podcasts right now about that. But anyway, back to the topic. Micah Yellow, Don Underwood. Ray, how do you see this one and why, mate?
Micah Yellow, Don Underwood. I think Mike has the edge. I think I don't know where Don is right now, where he is when he start coming back, but I don't think he's at that level yet. And I think the guys that are more active are the favorites right now. So I'm going on that with Micah Yellow. Yeah, but I think everyone's wrong, and I think this guy will win.
Wow.
Yeah, I think Jordan has, like, if Jordan doesn't have to cut weight, like really cut weight, that's a good. Jordan can arm wrestle any position. Longer it goes, better he gets. And I think he is the favorite in my opinion. I think Chance might be the toughest one, but I think he knows how to beat Chance. He just needs to get into the strap and try something in a strap, not to, follow his arm and something. Like they arm wrestle before, he has the data. Chance has the data. Chance just going to try to do the same thing, only stronger. And that's it. And just Jordan needs to. What is the format? Either each versus everyone? It's like,
I thought it was winner versus winner, and it's like a knockout. And if it's Robin, wow.
What, like, how many wins? 1, 2, 3.
This is not known right now. Since last time I talked to Chance, this is unknown. Chance doesn't know if he beats Jordan once, does he then face the winner of Don and Mike once and then circle back around, or if it's a best of 3. Now that was like 3-4 days ago that I talked to him. At that point in time, when State Kings came out, they hadn't even released that to the pullers. So that's a big variable, in my opinion.
It's a huge variable.
I think gas tank is majorly an issue in this 4-way, and I don't know who has the best gas tank.
Surely that'd be a bit of a bad look for the bets as well, wouldn't it? Because it should, you're not then it's more like you're betting on the
Former changes everything. Former changes everything.
Incredible difference.
Yeah. It's like if Mike wins the first round, but he like gets in a hook, sits in a hook, like, and then he faces someone who really tries to top roll him real fast, day's over.
Yep.
And same thing goes to the other parts. So.
Yeah, I would be. I wouldn't be a fan of that, if I'm honest. If you went one round and then moved over.
No, that's why would you do that?
Somewhere else they did that, and I thought it was
27 rounds, best of 300.
I think if you just have the straight progression, where one guy faces the other guy, winners progress, losers progress. I think that makes a better look for the tournament. To be perfect, it's still a hard day if they're pulling for. If it's best of 5. Which I'm assuming it is best of 5, which is the traditional sort of US battleground style format. I would imagine that's still a very difficult day for someone. A lot of people seem to be favouring Micah Yellow. A lot of people be going. Mike's, like I say, Mike's a problem for a lot of guys. He's got so much reach. He's such a big man naturally.
There's a logical rationale behind that too. And honestly, I respect, what Ryan picked Mike, and I have a hard time arguing with that because of Mike's style. Unless Don Underwood is on fire with his timing, Mike is so fast, and people don't realize it. They think of like a tall, long levered hooker. He initiates like the times that I pulled him, he has beaten me or matched me on the go. And I'm dead loading trying to hit my spot. So the guy, and he commits his shoulder with so much like confidence that it makes it tricky. And I think that if Mike can get past Don, and let's say Jordan beats Chance in the first round, I like Mike's chances against Jordan. Controlling center with a little bit of side pressure drive, even more height, and then dropping on him before he can initiate, because Jordan doesn't really initiate. So there's a good case.
Have Mike and Don ever pulled?
I believe so. I want to say like pre-COVID, right at the beginning out in Kansas City. And I think it was around the same time when Corey and Don had pulled, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm certain of that too. I feel like it wasn't that long ago that I saw that, and Mike won that day, didn't he? Mike came through, beat Corey and Don that day.
Yep.
Yeah. That was only 3-4 months ago or something.
Okay. Yeah, so he's not pulled
it was a bit longer than that.
Yeah, but he's not pulled a fully revved Don, because I think Don's been on a steep trajectory, hasn't he, of late? He came back and he was also
fully revved Don. Like if you think of Don v Devin Larratt, that arm was or whatever, that's a dangerous Don. If that Don or even a close to that Don turns up, it's a big issue.
If that guy shows up, we all lose our money.
Yeah, Don Underwood at the Gathering on the top of the MGN.
Yeah,
that's a serious individual. Let me tell you right now.
That was one of the first videos I watched.
Yeah, Don Underwood at Triple XL London was serious. He did damage to dudes over there. You know, he busted Marcio's arm in the first round. First round of the match, snapped Marcio's tendon, and then he did the same to
that was Marcio's first bicep tear.
Yes,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then he did the same to Yoshi Kanai in the Gathering, very first round of the Gathering. And Yoshi Kanai at that time was strong as hell, you know. So Don's serious. He hits very, very hard. That when he was at that time, he was a real solid individual. Whether he can get back there, I don't know.
He's committed though, so
yeah, we'll see where he's at. But I do like Mike Aiello, and I'd like to see Mike Aiello do well also, because Mike Aiello is one of those guys that deserves his shot. He deserves a little bit of respect. He's a guy that's been everywhere, done everything. Corey West actually just
Corey.
Yeah, he's put, I won the event. Don took second. Aiello took third.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Wait, was there one prior to that? Because I wasn't that the one that Michael Todd threw. Is that, Corey, if you're in the chat, was that the one where Mosier won the overall? Because in my head, I was thinking of one prior to that. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Now, while we're on the Super Chats theme, this is less relevant, and I owe this guy an apology, but I missed one from Travis S., and I love it. And he's put, Ray's background, and this was the shroom background, is a visual representation of my weekends as a young adult. Travis, you sound like a hell of a guy. Welcome to the fix, mother fluffer, and thanks for your super chat. Yeah, that's Ryan. There you go.
That's my childhood right there.
Yeah, Ryan's childhood right there. It is. It's Ryan's hairstyles over the last 20 years. Absolute quality, ladies and gentlemen.
Just over Ray's left shoulder. That pretty much is me as a kid.
Now, one of the questions that's just coming on the private line, feel sorry for Ray. He's been quite quiet tonight. He has, hasn't he? Drunk Ray was so much noisier. But this question relates specifically to Ray. Ray, we all understand that the WAF World Championships has just been arranged in Georgia. Do you believe that it will be possible for this to be well represented, and will the Latvian team be present? Oh, you're on mute, brother.
You're on mute, right?
Watching Fake Taxi in the background.
Sorry. Yeah. We are starting preparation for BAF Worlds next week, and Latvian's going to go there. I hope everything works out, but if they're implementing, traveling with vaccines or COVID passes or anything, then it should happen, and we can't wait.
Do you think it will be big in terms of representation?
I I give better chances that it. I think it's gonna be good, very good represent. Like most countries right now, except Australia, are opening up. You know, you go outside, play. So I really think it will be, especially if it's a sport event. Like they're having a World Cup right now, you know, or whatever. You know, I don't follow soccer, so it's. Why cannot we do that? Especially,
will you be taking over a small decorating table of some description, putting a Latvian flag on there, and selling Ray Loves Cats shirts? That's what everybody really wants to know, right?
Yeah, I'm just gonna smuggle in. I'm gonna wear 20 of those, and I'm just gonna walk in there.
Walk in like that and then give them out.
Yeah. Well, the first one will be like M. No, the last one, the first one will be like XXL. And closer you get, let's like.
Yeah, going down to baby gap size, and Mike Aiello will be waiting when you get down to that one, ready to buy it. Mike, or Paul would look all right in that as well, won't he? Look at Paul today. Has anybody? Are we going to talk about the pink elephant in the room? Has anybody noticed the condition of the orc? What the frig? Look at him.
It's a suntan, Neil. I've been at the storehouse for the past 4 days. I'm just getting.
I believe you're dehydrated. I think Paul needs water.
Look at that.
I don't have water. I got Corona Premier. That's all I got.
2% body fat. Bloody frightening, mate. Blocking up. So let's move forward a little bit here and see if I've not missed any. White Wolf, thanks for your super chat, brother. He's put, I saw the Devon interview with all four, and I have a feeling the old Don is back. He's a scary dude. Whoever wins between Don and Mike wins it all. That discounts the Rolly Royce theory.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, Jordan's the smaller guy. I mean, Jordan, for me, I feel like people should be a little bit, he should be bigged up. He should feel good about the fact that he's got super heavyweights saying, if I beat Jordan Sill, I mean, what's Jordan actually weigh normally? 215, 210? What is he?
He's big, Neil. Every time I talk to him, he gets a lot of the same stuff I get. People think I'm like 230 and I'm like 210, but for the love of everything good, this guy is a big human. His shoulders are broad,
body, hasn't he? Frame.
He's big, but he's big everywhere. So I mean, I know they said that he was. I forget that. I think the event where he pulled up Ron Bath, I think he was up into the mid 230s. But then when I pulled with him, he was like 225, 228 around there, I think. So, but if he's coming into this, we might see the 240, 245 guy show up.
See, Ryan said that. Ryan said 240, 245. I bowed to Ryan's knowledge on that one. I was surprised. I thought he wasn't that big. Wow.
He's got a couple inches on me in height, and he's got a couple inches on me like shoulder width. Like he that's why, like, when I'm like evaluating a Jordan Sill match, the big thing to me is what weight does he have to go to? Like, you know, where are they meeting at? Like if he's, you know, depending on who he's pulling, if it's at like a lower weight class, I weigh that heavily because I really believe that guy is an elite 225-pound puller who just tried to make 195 for WAL, and I think he hurt back in the day.
Yeah. Interestingly, a couple of super chats come in, and one of them really segues really well into what we're talking about there. John Momma, thanks for your super chat, mate. He's put, Neil, I see Don kind of like Travis. They both have a huge disparity between their floor and their ceiling, not steady like Ron Bath. Would you agree? Actually, I would. And I would also say that same comment can be leveled a little bit at Ray's pick at Jordan, because Ray's a bit like Vitor Belfort, isn't he? You know, if Vitor Belfort shows up, he will knock your head off. But then another day he comes and he's a bit disappointing and just not there.
Yeah. That's just Vitor Belfort post.
Yeah.
Sada.
Sada.
Before you said it, you know, and after. Those two different human beings.
Yeah, you're not kidding, mate. But I also think that from Don, there was always that in his past, the past Don, with the greatest of respect to the lad, and I love Don Underwood, he's my man. Had him in Armwars all the time. But he was the party boy. He was the guy that was lacking focus sometimes. He wasn't that dedicated, full-time professional, nose to the grindstone dude. He was, let's have a drink and a dance Oh, and I also arm wrestle. You know what I mean? Dude can dance too. Not Ian Carnegie level, but he can bust a shape. You know, Carnegie, different league. Carnegie's like the Danny Tesh of the dance fever world. He's a bad mother fluffer. Whereas Don just, you know, he's got those stylish shapes going down. We're not going to go too deep into dance. It's not our trick. But I can tell you now, Don Underwood arm wrestles and he also dances. So, yeah, I feel like if Don can show up absolutely at his best, which I'm going to say I don't believe he will yet. I think it's too early. Then I believe he would start as the favorite in my eyes. I don't believe I don't believe that guy shows up yet. I don't believe that guy shows up yet. I do think Micah Yellow is going to be very, very tough to beat because he's very, very well-rounded. And I feel like whatever happens with Chance and Jordan, it's a war. I believe. I think there's going to be a bit of a scrap going on there. A lot of people have told me they think that Chance will light Jordan up. I don't know.
Paul, are you still getting opportunities to train with Chance?
Do I?
Are you still getting opportunities to train with Chance?
Yeah, I haven't recently though. So a flight from Orlando to Harrisburg direct is like something stupid like $60 now. So he's come up and trained with Storm and I multiple times, but it's been over a year since we pulled. That's what I was going to ask you, Ryan. I said, like, you know, because I don't think that the guy that I practiced with last time is the same guy that we're seeing now. Mm-hmm. And I was interested to hear if, you know, based on what you have seen in his growth, if you think your match would go the same way now because you both made improvements.
Well,
that's got to happen, Ryan. Incidentally, I
would love nothing more. That'd be awesome, man.
Just after he cracks Jerry.
Yeah.
If he beats Jerry, he's ready for Ryan. If he don't beat Jerry,
when Chance thinks Jerry and comes on my show and gives it, fuck you, Neil. What was
right
that
after
about the Virgin Mary's tears, you fat motherfucker?
Honestly, when I pulled Chance, he was 255 or something like that. I was 210. Now I'm 225. He's 300. I don't know. He's obviously put on more, but I don't know whether I think when you're a super heavyweight, your variations are going to be bigger, and Chance's genetics, his variations are going to be bigger than mine. Of course, I'd back myself against him. I felt exactly where he was weak relative to my style. There was a vulnerability there. I think that, yeah, of course, I think I'd be able to match him again. I wouldn't fear him, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. I just wouldn't.
Master DJ James, thank you for your super chat, mate. Much appreciate the support there. And Erlen Meyer has come in with a comment here on the four-way. He says, I got Micah Yellow's steak to the tits. But honestly, anyone can win this thing. Also, just want to say hi to Ray's cat friends. I love them all. All three of them fine, furry little offers. We haven't seen them tonight, though, in Shroomland.
Oh. Not in Shroomland. No,
you don't let him in the forest.
Man, catnip land.
Yeah, yeah. Don't worry, mate. They'll get some love when he's off this. When he's off this call, he's knackered tonight, is Ray, isn't he? It's absolutely ruined. Just for people in the chat, guys, we're going to have about another 10 minutes, and we'll be knocking it on the head tonight because Ray does need to get some sleep, and that's what's waiting for him when he leaves the call, ladies and gentlemen. So Ray loves a cat. There you go. It's the kind of picture that Ray loves to look at throughout his days. Absolute quality. So let's have a look. Make sure I've not missed anything. And straight away, I have missed something. It's Michael Todd's calcified bone. That's what we used to, Ray. Get the forest look there, son. He's put, yo, just dropping in to say hello. Been busy touring the country. Shout out to Paul Linn, the White Hawk, and Coach Ray. Oh, and hi, Ryan. Yeah, calcified bone in the house.
What have you done, Ryan? What have you done?
Life I live, this one.
Hey, so I'm on the phone the other day, right, to the mighty John the Goat Brezink. And I'm talking to him about many things. And one of the things in there was the fact that Larry sort of manufactured that situation where there could be a potential for a Voda match, which I kind of love.
Wow.
I just love that whole concept. I think if Larry does pull that off, it'd be ace, you know. But one thing that was evident was that John is definitely feeling a little better about things, you know. And if that match comes off, I actually think John's a favourite. And I'll tell you why. Because whilst Alexi is probably a broader athlete in terms of his athletic prowess, I don't believe that there's maybe anybody who's a better natural arm wrestler than John.
Yep.
So with both those men having fallen from their former greatness, I actually think John, relatively injury-free, if he can keep that shoulder in check and get a bit of time on the table, I think John will probably get nearer to form than Alexi would right now. And I think John will be right in that. I also think that the Alexi Voda John Brezink match that happened in 2004 was very much a misrepresentation. Not to take anything away from Alexi, because Alexi was far bigger than that match. He pulled a lot of people at that time, and the man was rock strong. There's no doubt about it. But I don't believe that John was at that time. I think John was at a very, very low ebb. In fact, I'm sure he was. And I think that might have given John a misrepresentation of Andre at that time in terms of their levels. And I think that would be a great match. And you know, we talk about these great matchups that you could potentially put together. Like, let's say, for example, Engin Terzi hadn't hurt his arm the other day and didn't hang up his gloves and keeps coming. You know, he starts coming back to the table and gets back to anywhere near his weight class. A match that's always, for me, going to be just an enduring matchup is him against Gashevsky. And I think Voda, same ilk, you know. I think if Voda Brezink goes down, who the frig doesn't want to see that? I do.
Oh, that's great.
I think it'd be an awesome match, mate.
Yeah,
Super
that match. It's a gift to the sport. If that happens, it's a true gift to the sport. I think I'd actually be personally more interested in that than any other match on the card. Like, even if there was like maybe only Devon and Levan could eclipse that for me for personal interest if that was to happen. But for me, that's an awesome legacy match. I love that Alexi shared it on his Instagram straight away, saying, so he's willing. John said he's willing. Obviously, there's a lot of circumstances that need to align for it to be possible, but the fact that both gentlemen are willing is simply awesome.
And you hit the nail on the head right there, Ryan. Both gentlemen, because I'll tell you what, Alexi Voda is a wonderful bloke. Really, really stout individual, very straight lad. I have a lot of time for Alexi. Really good guy. And so is John. And I think that's a great match. I really hope that comes to fruition. Now, this is interesting. Little super chat coming from the White Wolf. Let's get Ray involved. I'll ask a cat question. Ray, do you have a cat tower stroke platform? And do your cats use it? Cats are spiders. They are the ultimate predators.
Yes, I have a platform. My cats use it.
Do the cats use the platform?
Yeah, cats are ultimate predators.
They are ultimate predators.
In-house.
Yeah, it's a good job that God only makes cats that small, because cats, I'll tell you what, I mean, you know, you say a cat, a big cat, lion, scariest mother fluffer. I mean, who wants anything? Jaguars scare the shit out of me. They're a nasty bastard, aren't they, Jaguar? When you see that photo,
You're pretty safe at home.
Killing friggin'. What's the little caimans? Eat those guys, don't they? Yes. Ninja Boy, thanks for your super chat, mate. It's on $10 super chat. Congrats on your win at King of the Table, Coach Ray. It was the first live match I'd ever seen in arm wrestling. A little bit of history right there. We all were on our feet and cheering the moment you stopped the match. Simply awesome win. Ninja Boy, thanks for that, mate.
Thanks,
the
buddy.
Sleepy Ray, we have, every time Ray comes on, we have a different emotion or a different circumstance. Last week it was pissed up Ray. This week it's sleepy knackered Ray. But it is like midnight or half midnight over there, so that's fair enough.
I will bring Drunk Ray back for episode 69.
Whenever it's an anniversary show.
And I'll bring some other Ray for episode 420.
Yeah, just start bringing, and we can do degrees of leathered. you know, working up like
we'll start and I'll just do shots.
yeah. You see how bad we can get you by the end of the show. It'd be awesome. I'm in.
Hey, Paul got excited, so cool.
Yeah,
Paul,
let's do it. It's gonna be good.
Paul is the nicest guy in the show. Paul is actually the director of fun. And Paul, I think that's a good. What do you think, mate?
I'm good with it. I just like to see other people getting hammered.
There you go.
That is why I love Rob's channel. I love it.
Because you can always rely on RVJ to come in lit.
Yeah, check Rob Vigent Jr.'s channel out. It is great.
He is the king. Yeah, if you're not subscribed to Rob Vigent Jr., do yourself a favor. Get your ass over there, because I'll tell you what, awesome. V Pause, thanks for your super chat, mate. He's put, you're as good as your last fight. From this, I say Chance is the favourite, but I would love to see a strong Don Underwood. I would love to see a strong Don Underwood, mate. I think he's on it. I think he's focused. He's definitely active right now. The guy's coming back. He's looking for it, and he's got a lot of potential. Joe Mama, thanks for your super chat. He's put, Neil, I love Paul. Not the way like you like men. Love a man. Yeah. Any chance we can get a Paul versus RVJ match at an Arm Wars? Well, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, Joe. I would imagine that when the WAL returns, which I expect will happen in 2022, I don't think we're waiting too long before that match comes about. That's my honest opinion. I expect that he's next in line. You know, anything can happen in that interim period of time. By that time, Chance has probably smacked the shit out of Jerry, and Ryan will have
dominated
strongest ginger of all time after beating Matt in New Zealand. When is that, mate?
14th of August, Matairangi. Yeah.
There you go. And that's in New Zealand, isn't it?
We have a bubble between Australia and New Zealand. We can do what we want. It's the only place I can go.
Amazing. You've got a bubble between countries.
Mm.
That's a big ass bubble right there, dude. It's kind of bubble I like. Awesome. White Wolf, thanks for your super chat. Neil, as you know, arm wrestling has the best nicknames of any sport, and you name most of them. Can you guys list off the best of the top of your heads? I don't know. What are your favorite?
Professional hand holding.
The gingerbread man. The gingerbread man is the funniest one ever.
I absolutely love the gingerbread man. Jerry, for me, lends himself to great names. I mean, I love the Brokeback Mountain. I personally pissed myself at the Brokeback Mountain. I thought that was awesome. For some reason, Jerry didn't like it.
Yeah, how annoyed is he? He's got to be so annoyed.
Oh, mate, he said, dude, if you call me the Brokeback Mountain, seriously, we're not friends anymore. I'm like, okay, no problem.
I like Jake Ward comes out with some pretty good ones for people. His ones are pretty edgy. Like Jordan Davis is the reach around, and there's a few others.
Is Jake in the chat? I think Jake might be in the chat. Get yourself over to Aussie Arm Wrestler, guys. He's been pretty active recently as well. He really has. And yeah, Jake will probably.
I like Rolly's voice. Rolly's pretty good. It's very, very original, very unique, Rolly.
It's you though, you came up with that one.
That was the accent on the Voice of Arm Wrestling. It ended up it somehow went from Voice of Arm Wrestling to
Rolls Royce.
It went from Rolls Royce to Rolly.
Rolly. It was good.
Absolute clash. You'll see that come out. It was an episode of The Fix where it just went in there. It just became and he'll forever be Rolly Royce now, won't he?
Ray likes cats and Neil likes men.
Hey, the t-shirt's coming out, ladies and gentlemen. T-shirt will be coming out soon. Yes, we love it. Love a bloke. Hey? Absolute quality. I can't believe it. Ruined my life. Ruined that one. Let's have a look. Guys, we've got about 5 minutes and we're going to get out of Dodge. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's been in the chat. You guys look like you've been having some fun tonight. You really do. Remember to send your questions in for next episode, guys. We'll be on next Sunday as usual. Anybody got anything that we need to nail that we've missed, guys, before we jump off this thing? Because I know that we had a lot of people talk about Crassi and La Latin. Now,
I think we can get in that for a little bit bigger one on the next episode?
That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to let it get a little nearer to the time, because I think I've got Krasi coming on shortly with Engin, and a couple of the other Bulgarian lads. So we'll let that burn a little bit, guys. Let it slow burn. Let it develop. Because when is it? It's August, isn't it? We've a bit of time.
July 31st.
31st of July. Okay. So a little bit before we go into August, and we will get that covered off. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to, before we leave you, just make sure that you are liked and subscribed to our resident co-host channels. First of all, Ryan Blue Bowen. Get yourself over there for all your arm wrestling equipment, whether it's attire, whether it's handles, whether it's the greatest straps ever made in the sport of arm wrestling, as told by a sober Rob Bidgent Jr. Get yourself over to Pound for Pound, Ryan Bowen's spot. And remember, code Supernatural, 15% off everything from that store. Just before we go, guys, as well, remember, tonight's show was brought to you in association with Western Survivor, the greatest beef jerky of all time. This stuff will put hairs on your chest, let me tell you right now. And this new stuff, the sweet barbecue, he sent me over 3 packets. He sent. This is the last of them. Good kit. Ladies and gentlemen, the voice, Rolly Royce. Get yourself over to Voice of Arm Wrestling, particularly for you new guys. All the questions that the channel gets, where they talk about anything technical, whether or not you can put strength on your wrist, how you should train this, how you should train that. Trust me, this guy will have covered it. Get over to the Voice of Arm Wrestling. You'll see Ray working with some of the best arm wrestlers in the world on there, and he covers off an amazing amount of stuff. Whether you're a newcomer to the sport, whether you're a guy that's been arm wrestling for 30 years, you can always learn something from the Voice of Arm Wrestling. Get yourself over there, guys, and check it out. Last but by no means least, get yourself over to Lethal Arms Network, the home of the White Oak, Paul Linn. Very, very active guy in the community. And Paul Linn also got some of the best attire that you will see. Some of this merch is sick. Get over there and look at the Lethal Arms kit and check out, subscribe and like Paul's channel. Ladies and gents, if this is your first time, Supernatural Strength, please like, share and subscribe. And until we see you next time here on The Fix, ladies and gents, take it easy, peeps.